Greetings, I am Polar Ecstasy and Gladiator today with an audio only episode. And let's be real, um, I don't plan to do a whole lot of talking much about myself and personal stuff all that often going forward. So, this might be one of the last few chances that I end up doing this. And just maybe for the future, stick to my creative videos. I am currently playing Minecraft. Wish I could be in a position to do videos and streams again. We'll see how the tax return situation ends up being this year. Alright. I don't know if you can hear the mining sound. Yeah, I ended up coming back to this game because I spent enough time with the Battletech PC game. I got my ship upgraded all the way. I got through the big final mission and the if there's ever a trophy to say congrats on beating the game, it's the freaking Atlas. That's cool with me, But of course, if I ever play the mission with it and lose like one of its good weapons, I reload. Same thing for the Highlander. Between a solid AC-20 and a Gauss rifle, I really don't want to lose my good stuff. There it is. All right. Yeah, the Battletech, as I said before in my community post, I think I ended up liking it better than MechWarrior 5. Not that I don't like MechWarrior 5, it's just I think the experience of Battletech was better for my style of play. That said, I do seriously hope to get a better computer once again and be able to revisit MechWarrior 5. It's a solid game, but being able to do the whole turn based Battletech approach, I feel like it's more in line with um, my capacity for strategy. Yeah. So yeah, I ended up coming back to Minecraft, and the first after doing the whole update thing, the first kind of world I ended up with like desert and badlands and all that. It's like I can't survive here, and I ended up deleting that world. Did another one. Also started me out in like desert and badlands. Like really. So I ended up um, deleting that. It's like okay, the world I'm gonna name this world Fixer World Maker. And if this doesn't work out, I'm just done. Uh, Granted, I should be just kind of taking a break from this anyway, because got a lot of stuff to take care of. But it's just nice to have a game to play. Something where it's like, yeah, this helps get my mind off of stuff for a minute and helps me uh, focus, relax, something, something to help. It's just too easy to get so caught up in a task that it just drains, just drains you. I know person I work for sometimes they just need a break. They get a little bit of insight on what kind of work they have to do to keep the store going, and paperwork is one of those things that even if you make it easier, you still have to take care of it. So it's it's a critical job, but at the same time, it's not something I would ever want to get stuck doing to that extent. I've already decided I wanted to take up a special task uh, working there. Above and beyond what I usually do. I do have to wait for very specific factor to be in place. So one of the things that happens with our store is the we've got people who buy cards and then sell them, and what they get from selling the cards goes into buying more. And people usually get like store credit or um, cash. You're likely to get more like store credit than cash, though. Their rates. But what I want to do is focus on used board games. We have a section, and it's mainly just people waiting for people to buy their stuff, and I just want to expedite that process because I know it's like to have to wait and hope that someone's gonna buy my game. So what I want to do is have my little account to work with, so I can just straight up buy people's games, board games, maybe role playing game books. I don't know if I want to do too much with those because books are just easy to find online. So why invest too much in that? I'm gonna take a little drink of my Mountain Dew, even though it's like 1 in the freaking morning. I got work tomorrow. Doesn't help to just fly buzzing around in here. It's like I thought I got rid of one, but nope. Always end up in my room somehow, trying to get to the window. Yeah, they're worse during the summer. It's like, and they're fast and they're small, and it's like it's hard to hit them with the fly swatter. When I'm in the bathroom, it's near impossible to use the fly swatter I'm having to use like a hand towel. Yeah. I figure whatever I can do to maybe step things up a bit in terms of my own capabilities, responsibilities, whatever. Maybe it'll be good for me. Just it'll give me a little bit more direction, more focus in my purpose there. Yeah, but still figuring it out, but I think it's just what I want to keep doing. I know there are times when I had my doubts about this place, but ultimately, still here. Still going to do the best I can for the store, for the people who trust me for advice on games. It's the fact that the Board Game League is in a weird place. It's hard to get people to, want to play when, you know, a group is what it is. And then our whole system for trying to incentivize people to join it's not all that effective. And then days like today, where just overall lack of participation doesn't, doesn't bode well. But I guess like other stuff going on, apparently. Like people are just watching stuff on TV or whatever. I guess there's like the World Series. I don't really keep up with sports. I respect the fact that they exist, but it's just not my thing. But they're a thing for a lot of other people, so that's fine. I think when I was younger, I was like really into messing around with basketball, and I still have my soccer ball that I like to kick around every once in a while. But really, I just never got into got deep into watching sports or participating. Uh, it's not to say it's only indoors. I did enjoy going out on walks and all that stuff when I was younger. I really miss having my rollerblades. I don't know if I can find them in my shoe size at this day and age, but it might be fun. I used to go up this one hill and then go flying down it. It's like a bit of a risk in case any cars came from one of the side streets. If I ever needed to stop, I was basically screwed. But thankfully that didn't happen. Yeah, just a lot of stuff from way back when. Just get nostalgic for sometimes. As much as it wasn't the best of places, I kind of miss the old trailer park. Um, I don't miss the kind of environment that was there though. Uh, very out of place attitudes and very inappropriate uh, things that people would say. It's like, looking back, I'm just glad I never bought into that way of thinking. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what gets through, gets into someone that they think those kinds of things. The the concerning part is just how easy kids get wrapped up into that kind of thinking. The hands of adults who just put it in their heads that hatefulness. One of the things that ends up being disturbingly effective I've seen has been songs. People will make up these horribly inappropriate yet catchy songs, and it's like that's that's how they're getting the kids to believe in their ideology. It's like, wow, that's that's beyond fucked up. Yeah, it's. I'm glad that's in the past. I don't ever want to live in a place like that these days, knowing what I know now. Yeah, work continues to be an interesting place of more games coming out, more people checking the store out. There's always there's always something new to discover. There's always a new game to find and people to talk with about it. But the thing with every new game is who's going to buy in. Games are not cheap. I mean, arguably some games are cheaper than others, which helps. You can find a good game for like 20 to $40 with a lot of replayability. That's probably for the best. That's why I intend to hold on to my copy of Far Away, because I'm sure I could get a lot of mileage out of it. A lot of fun. Because one of the things that always sucks is just a game that I only ever play once. Even more than that is the game I don't get to play at all, because, it's a long game, it takes up a lot of space. The only day that I could play it is the day our usual Saturday guy has his table and therefore wants to play his game, which he's entirely in his right to do so. He's the one paid for the table. It's his call for what game gets played. And usually, I like the game that we end up playing anyway. I know we end up playing a lot of Terraforming Mars. Last time I played, um, got closer than I've been in a long time. Like less than 5 points behind first place. It was a close game for me. Not so close for everyone else. Yeah, with the Saturday group, it's like you've got to be able to roll with us to to be in the group, to really play, because sometimes people just are caught up in the process that they just aren't able to play very fast. And sometimes that just causes a lot of friction, frustration. So the people that want to have play are going to be able to keep up with everything and not have to need reminders or whatever. Because a lot of these games require paying attention to the little synergies and all that. And if you have to be reminded every time, it's kind of holds everyone else back, which is unfortunate. I don't want to have to. I don't want to exclude anyone, but it's it's their Saturday guys table. It's you got to keep up, which is why when I do the board game league, I try not to exclude anyone. Sometimes though the game's already started, and unfortunately, going back's not an option, and it's unfortunate. And if more people showed up, then there'd be an opportunity for playing. I think if you show up and if you don't get to play, but you at least stick around and maybe I don't know, play a solo game or something. As long as you're still around, you probably should be able to get into the raffle for the week. But personally, I'm not sure if the raffle is really the best idea. I'd rather people just pay less money instead of paying more money and then randomly getting money back. I don't know. I think we'll see how the league goes the next couple months and go from there. But that's the thing, that's the thing with store and everything else. It's always an experiment in seeing what could be done. And if things don't work out, we just change it. It's not that hard. It's a process, but it can be done. And it's just really anything. It's just sometimes you have to try things out to know whether it's going to work. It should be easier to put in the time and see, try to see the consequences of it without needing to go down the road. I guess to an extent it could be done. Anticipating what's going to happen. But you can only anticipate so much. And then you just gotta roll with it and see what happens. I just hope there's never a situation anytime soon of finding things out the hard way that should not have been tried in the first place. I really don't want anything to happen to this store because I really don't want to go looking for another job. This place is, even when there's been moments where it hasn't been the easiest, it's still been an overall better place than a number of places I've been at. There's a lot of stuff I'm still adjusting to, even though it's been what, since mid-February. Mid-February is kind of the unofficial start. March, start of March was the official start for me there. And even when there are times where I'm just like, I get frustrated, I get, or I feel like my concerns aren't really getting dealt with to, to my own satisfaction, I'd still rather be at this place than have to go looking for somewhere else. This is this is one of the rare local jobs that I've gotten to have too, where it's not some big franchise thing that I've had to deal with in the past. This is independent business. Last independent business I got to work for was my dad, and that didn't really work out all that well. I learned some important stuff though, that's for sure. But I definitely don't want to work for family like that ever again. Yeah. I think overall, I'm glad I've had the experience with retail, and I like where I'm at in terms of the kind of scale that I get to work at. In terms, just a lot of the kind of basic stuff of physical activity. Like I'll pick up the boxes to bring them over for unloading and all that. Putting things on the shelves and organizing them. Going through and dusting the shelves. Just like being on my feet and doing stuff. I've had to get used to the idea of, you know, um, being behind a counter more often. And I think I do all right. I'm sure I could do things better, but I'm trying my best here. I just hope I never end up in the position of having to be at the top of the store of doing what the owner has to do for it, you know. I never want to be in the position of taking over a business. I'm not sure if I'm ready to start one either, considering the expenses involved and what it takes to actually run a place. You know, all the expenses and all that. You know, you're not just simply making money. You have to invest in it, invest in the business, invest in making the business better, put money into advertising, infrastructure, personnel, because you don't want to be working on the counter all the time. When you also need to take care of orders and everything else. Personally, I'd rather be at the counter than have to be in that position of, you know, running the whole thing. You know, having to see what, you know, store owner has to deal with, the paperwork and everything else. I'm sure it would drive me nuts having to be in that position. So I'm glad he's doing that, and I hope he's able to do it for a very long time because I like this place. I don't want to see it disappear anytime soon. I don't want to have to start looking for another place to work. I don't want to have to lose one of the solid places for playing tabletop games. I want to be here. I want to stay here. I want to get better at what I do here and hopefully contribute to, you know, this place being successful. All right, well, let's stop the recording and see how it is and see if it's good to upload. All right, thanks very much for listening. This has been Pillar Nexus, Ninja Gladiator, and I will see you in the future with more content. So stay tuned. Thank you and bye.